Absolute rubbish were the words used by Mr. Jacob Rees-Mogg, old Moggy, to refer to the Prime Minister's Chequers plans. And apparently, according to Mr. Rees-Mogg, Michel Barnier agrees. It may come as a surprise to many people watching this, but so do I. Most of you will already be aware of Boris Johnson slamming the Prime Minister's Chequers plans. The Prime Minister seems to be giving in to the EU on every front. She is not negotiating, she's capitulating. She is going to allow European investment bankers to have immunity from prosecution after Brexit. How can we possibly allow any bankers immunity from prosecution, European or otherwise? Well, this is all part of a plan to undermine the dollar clearing system and our alliance with the United States of America and link us irrevocably to this EU foreign policy. This will impede our ability to expand our markets and do more business with the USA and other emerging markets after Brexit. While we have one rule for European investment bankers and another rule for our own bankers, we cannot develop our own foreign or financial policies. I have made this clear to both Downing Street, the British media, and the American ambassador. There has been zero response from Downing Street and limited interest from a largely biased Remainer UK press, especially the BBC, known over here as the Brussels Broadcasting Corporation. I've met Monsieur Barnier myself, and personally I find him utterly intransigent. He is taking his orders from the French President and the European Commission. Monsieur Barnier's sole interest, I believe, is making sure Monsieur Barnier is the next President of the European Union. Humiliating Britain, destroying Brexit, and punishing the UK for our arrogance in daring to vote for our country to run its own affairs would put him in that position. I think it is plain to see for most sane voters that the UK government and the European Commission are incapable of coming to an agreement that benefits the British people. So the question is, where do we go from here? Well, unless we can strike a real free trade deal in exchange for putting money into the European project, Britain would be much better off with a clean break and keeping our 40 billion for ourselves to invest in hospitals, schools, and anything else that we so choose. With a trade surplus of 80 billion, the EU needs us more than we need it. If we cannot strike a trade deal, the European Commission know that will be a nail in their coffin, not ours. The British government should be capitalising on this. The question I would ask the British people is, why aren't they doing so?